All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing idiots.
Convincing idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note, well, who else had a time machine is the Terminator, right? So Terminator sort of had a little reference over this past week here. I want to mention here. Now if you listen to the show at all, we are in Northeast Ohio in the Akron Barberton area, which is about 40 minutes south of Cleveland. And we talked recently about how Baker Mayfield, the quarterback of the Browns, was basically ousted with a controversial trade with bringing in Deshaun Watson from the Houston Texans. You can listen to that on a prior episode. But
Find it in the archives.
Yes, that's right. Also, it's somewhere in there with Nick's anti-Semitic commentary. We mentioned that last week.
That's right.
It's still out there somewhere. Gonna keep digging for that stuff.
Just went on a rant for no reason.
Yep.
Third episode? Seven?
Somewhere. Or 17. Maybe
You'd
30.
better just go
7.
back and listen to every episode we've ever done. That way
It's
you're
probably
sure to
the
find it.
easiest way to find it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to promote our show. Look for Nick being racist. It's in there somewhere, I swear it is.
Yeah. Someone's gonna look. Someone may look.
Saying something shitty.
Yep. Anyway, so Baker Mayfield, it's definitely the talk of Cleveland still because they brought in Deshaun Watson. He doesn't know where he's going to go yet. He's kind of hanging out there. It's a whole
Hopefully to jail.
maybe, I don't know. So all the bad news happening for Baker Mayfield. There was some good news, at least it appeared. So I think it was over the weekend where he went to the University of Oklahoma and he won a national championship there, won the Heisman Trophy. And he was drafted number 1 by the Cleveland Browns. Everything was looking good. He definitely had a good college career. They unveiled a statue, which you can find online here.
I'm testing this. Go ahead, Brian.
As soon as the statue was unveiled, what's making the social media is that this does not look like Baker Mayfield. As a matter of fact,
I'll look at it.
How is that?
That's good. It looks like the actor Robert Patrick, who played the T-1000, so it was the robot in Terminator 2 that could liquefy and he could shapeshift and all that stuff. And you know what? That somebody out there made a meme or something, and that is just flying all around social media, how that statue looks like Robert Patrick. And Robert Patrick was recently in the Peacemaker series that we talked about as well, that we loved, who plays the Peacemaker's father, the Grand Dragon. But yeah, and if you've not seen this, go take a look online, and you will give yourself a smile, and maybe, it's got the ears, and he's wearing the statue is wearing a headband. Baker Mayfield always wore a headband in college. So that's what it's supposed to look like, but it's just kind of the ears sort of stick out like Mr. Patrick, and
I'm looking at the side-by-side comparison of the two, and it is hilarious. Like, it is really good. Like, it looks absolutely okay, let's take away the fact that he's supposed to have a headband on,
right?
And that you can't. That doesn't really show that well. It just looks like his hairline's kind of high.
Yep.
But the face also just super does not look. Yes, does not look. Like, I don't know if you showed this already, but there's the side-by-side of the two of them. It's really
got one better.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
The face doesn't look like Baker Mayfield's facial structure at all. His nose, his jaw, it doesn't have a pronounced jawline like that. It's very strange. It's just it's an interesting take on the bake there. It's not.
Do we know if Robert Patrick has said anything?
I know
Baker has.
The poor fucking guy had to come out and speak to all the questions about how the statue doesn't look like him, and he said all the right things. You can't complain about that.
It's like, I'm honored that there is a statue, and that's what's important and all that stuff. Oh, here's a good one. Here's one of the actual liquefied tea, whatever it was. If I can get it big on the iPad here, it's a side-by-side of the statue. And having the liquid form from Terminator 2.
Awesome. That's pretty good.
Sorry for everybody not watching on YouTube. This is not a super interesting subject for you, but go do yourself a favor and go look it up because it's phenomenal. It's great.
Oh man, so it's like, so what are you doing this weekend? Hey, I gotta craft this statue for the Baker Mayfield's kid. Yeah, I'm watching Terminator 2 and the Peacemaker binging over the weekend as well. So I think it looks pretty good.
What would be the best is if sorry, his name escapes me, and you just said it. Patrick, what is it?
Robert Patrick.
Robert. If he was just happened to be walking down the street and passing this, and he stops to wonder if that is in fact a statue erected in his honor. That would be. Is that me? Is it a statue of me?
That can't be. What?
He has to know.
Did I play football for Oklahoma?
No, he is. That's why I'm looking it up now. He did say something, but my tablet's running fucking slow.
Okay. Well, is it sort of poetic justice for Baker Mayfield to being sort of shitty? He didn't handle things all that properly in Cleveland. He has rumors not to be the best teammate, perhaps, or is just erecting statues of college kids, especially in athletics. Is that ridiculous in itself?
I think it's kind of. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that well versed in college football anyway. Okay, I don't really follow it that closely. I don't know these guys, these players, whatever. So I don't know how. I really don't know how successful Baker Mayfield was with this school. I'm guessing he had some success, but
he did.
Is there, like, I'm just gonna ask, is there like a Tim Tebow statue in Florida by any chance?
I don't know,
because that guy definitely like did some shit and like really made an impact and like was very. I mean, yes, he didn't translate into the NFL, but goddamn, was he a good college quarterback? And I mean,
I don't know if that's the way he would want you to describe it.
What's that?
Goddamn, good quarterback. I mean, the fellas
actually. He may have been approached about having a statue erected, and he would be like, "There's a thing in this book about worshiping false idols, and I'm not going to do that." And is there a Tim Tebow statue?
Well, that's how they brought it up. They said we want to give you a goddamn statue, and he's like, "No, no,
not a goddamn one. I don't know about that. Not a GD one, guys. Jeez."
This was So after,
they got one. Does it look like him, or does it look like?
I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever.
Right.
Who would a Tim Tebow statue be misconstrued as? Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. Just very jacked, very chiseled, very.
Well, he's wearing a helmet in his statue here, but
I guess the point
could be anybody then.
The point I'm trying to make
it does look like him. You go ahead.
Yeah, is also, and I mean, being that on one hand, I think it's. It's nice to a form of appreciation and thanking someone who meant a lot to your school, who maybe won a lot for you and all that stuff. A little bit ironic though that like you're gonna build a statue to these people, and like you didn't, like, they never got paid for playing there. You're using their likeness. You're selling still jerseys, I'm sure, with this guy's name on it. And
that changed now.
Get any money for that, and now they're
allowed to now. They passed all that where they have.
But back when he was in college, that was not.
He did not get shit.
So I think I find it a little ironic. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I mean, I think it's better the way it is now. But being that the massive business that the NCAA is, but I mean, it's just a little bit. I think it's. I can see the irony in that a little bit.
Well, look at the big picture of statues in general. There's a couple of different ways you can go. You can talk about like the false idol thing of erecting and worshiping people for what? I mean, so they did this little thing here. They did this little thing there. I'm talking about not just sports people, but different celebrities that might have, and we'll get into celebrities later in the show.
Like
but
that fucking Rocky one. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think that was the point of having that rock. It turned into something because it's now a statue that people go and. But the point of the statue in the movie was he was mad at, like he was embarrassed by it, and then he was mad at it. He didn't like it. I actually did that in sculpting class in high school because we were talking about how ridiculous having these like football Hall of Fame where they have the bronze statues. So I sculpted my own head. And painted it in bronze. And then we had to, at the end of the class, once you're done with it, you had to explain the thing and people could critique it in front of you. And this one girl, very hippie-ish, very, yeah. All right. So, she's like, what do you think, what makes you think that you should have a statue in bronze? I'm like,
I said, bitch, one day I'm going to be on one of the biggest global podcasts you've ever heard of. And we don't even know what podcasts are yet.
That's right.
But someday you're going to fucking see.
No, but that's what the point. I said you're missing the fucking point of this piece is to make fun of. This is saying like how ridiculous, anybody. If this guy can have a bronze statue, why can not this stupid idiot high school kid have a bronze statue? So, you could look at it, that idea of why anybody should have a statue, but then now look at the 21st century, and we've gotten into this cancel culture, right? People are wanting to take down Abraham Lincoln's statue.
That's in the Bill Maher thing, by the way, too.
Right.
Call back to the new stand-up.
So, the absurdity that, if you're going to put statues up of people hundreds of years ago or whatever, everybody's flawed, especially people back then. They didn't have Twitter to call them out immediately. They had to wait 50 years till, people wrote books after they died to find out how shitty these people were. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to go on the route of making statues of people, just assume that everybody is shitty. Everybody's awful. So only put it up there if you're willing to take it down later because you found out somebody did something shitty that you didn't like. Or that everybody didn't like. I'm not saying that, that you shouldn't take down a statue because, because somebody did some shit. Yes, there's a lot of statues that should not be up. Like, of like Confederates, because those were put up for different reasons than what they were being told. That's a different political show in itself. But my point is the statues, they're going to get taken down sooner or later, right? So why are we doing it now? If they're just coming up just to bring them down, what's the point?
And even with sports figures, you find out, there's statues up of people, and yeah, you might find out that the hero that you had behind closed doors might have been a piece of shit, might have done some pretty raw bad shit, and that you don't like.
You hear rumors of Michael Jordan being a really shitty tipper.
Right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I see a statue of that cheap motherfucker.
All right, so I have two very important questions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where is this bust now, and is the mouth of it open?
A, it's in the next room, and B, no, it is a closed mouth.
Darn it.
If you remind me, I will bring it on the show next week if you want to see it.
Oh, absolutely, want to see it.
Yeah.
Does the plaque commemorate Dean Harvey for having sex to the theme music of Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No, there's a full statue outside my house.
That's what a statue should be erected for.
Open chest shirt, just arms down by the side like Superman pose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm kind of with you as far as the sports hero stuff. It is kind of crazy. It's just, but I don't know. It's all about creating an environment at that stadium and stuff. It does bring people there. It adds to the nuance. I don't know. But it is kind of odd to have larger than life sports heroes immortalized like that. I don't know. Even up in Cleveland, it's like, Bob Feller was a great pitcher. Great. Who was it? Jim Thome? I'm like,
I think
he was good,
but
it's
Brian,
like,
he hit a ball
Thome?
really far one time.
There's a line. So,
I
if I may interject here, I personally like sports statues at an arena. Like, I think it's cool,
Yeah.
but I don't think everyone should have them. Like, I mean, I think like Derek Jeter can have a statue at Yankee Stadium because he's Derek fucking Jeter, and like there's a long list of being one of the best players in his sport for this team for years. Tom Brady would definitely deserve a statue. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. But like every little team that like had a guy that was like the best for them but wasn't even really that great for like we're in Northeast Ohio, whatever. People love the Browns, whatever. But
every team gets one, Nick.
Bernie Kosar doesn't deserve a statue like Tom Brady deserves a statue.
Fuck your mouth.
Yes, your mouth, yes, he was.
Bernie Kosar.
He's a legend to the Browns, but in the grand scheme of the NFL, he was a mediocre quarterback. Like he was fine, but certainly not a legendary across the league.
If there's going to be one, no. Let me tell you this: if there's going to be one player out of any sport, hockey, baseball, football, any sport that deserves a statue, they should be commemorated. It should be this man played for the Detroit Tigers, went on to coach for the Kansas City Royals. He had a batting average 236, 5 home runs. He runs batted in of 38.
Does this guy have a statue?
No, but he should. This man's name was Rusty Kuntz.
All right.
He played for the Detroit Tigers in, he's 67 years old now, but he played between 1979 and 1985 for the Detroit Tigers. Detroit, Michigan. I know we have some fans out there. Let's get a petition going and get some signatures on these. We need Rusty Kuntz to have a statue in Detroit. Please.
There you go. We'll start a Twitter campaign. How about that? If it's allowed, there you go. There he is.
So you don't think it's a bad?
Are you sure that's not? Are you sure you're correct on the pronunciation there?
Yes.
I think you just want to say Rusty Kuntz. Kuntz?
No, Kuntz is COO or KO.
Not always.
Yeah. Ask my friend Rusty Kuntz.
I don't know. I mean, you could be very well correct, but I've seen it spelled different ways.
Have you heard the podcast before?
But yeah, I agree that I like sports statues for the ambiance of the arena. I would probably stray away from putting them like in the middle of a city or something like that, unless you're putting a Michael Jordan statue in Michael Jordan's hometown, or a Wayne Gretzky statue in Wayne Gretzky's, like something like that, where it's like that is the guy in the sport, like period. But otherwise, I mean, I don't know. You get a lot of sports statues because you get into the local markets and what's meaningful to them, and that's great. That's awesome to celebrate those players that were legends to them. But a statue, I feel like is
right.
I feel like it's an upper echelon thing.
We have Glenn Davis had Jeep Davis in Barberton. From Barberton, broke track records at the Olympics that can't be broken because they stopped doing the event or whatever. But so he has records that will never be broken. But he's from Barberton, and we have a bronze statue outside the library of Jeep Davis. So yeah, it's all local. You don't have to be like even a professional sports team or sports city to have a statue like that. So there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Someday we'll be out there in the National Podcast Hall of Fame.
Well, you will be as the Podlander.
Never know.
Sure.
Except I will insist that
sword
Dean's mouth will be open. It'll be immortalized open.
What about my mom and being open? What
Your mouth
was that?
on the statue was going to be open.
I thought you said your
Dean's-
mom. I'm like, dude.
No.
Dean's head statue will be being held
you got
by
some
Brian's
plans for her.
statue.
You should probably let her know. What's that?
I said Dean's head statue will be being held by Brian's statue.
That's right.
With the mouth open.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I like it. Yep. Okay. I tried to segue into the Twitter thing. It didn't quite work there. So
Like
I'm
Bill
going to try
Cosby.
again here. So
Oh,
said
the
we'll-
yellow pudding pop.
perfect.
Sorry.
Good first
So-
segment, guys. All right, good stuff.
Making the news yesterday, big time news in the world of social media was Elon Musk purchased Twitter. So $43 billion. He had to borrow like $25 billion of that, I saw, and because he wants to make Twitter more of a free speech. He's complaining about the free speech. I don't know. They don't support free speech enough. Something along that line. He wants to do some unique things with it. He wants to, if you're a Twitter subscriber, they have this Twitter Blue subscription service that has a few features. Like you shouldn't have ads on there. He wants to be able to edit a tweet once you put it out there. He wants to put the algorithms of Twitter out there publicly to help other social media or whatever. I don't know what good that's going to do anything. I'm not sure. I don't know. So he wants to make it more open. So some think that, he's going to do some interesting things. Some think he's taking on a lot of headaches that he's not even really thinking about. He just bought it just for the fact that he can buy it
Because he can.
on a whim and do something with it. So I don't know. So I kind of see both sides to it. So Nick, give me thoughts of Elon Musk buying Twitter.
This is going to come out weird,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh,
I'm a little concerned about the free speech thing. Not that I don't support people's freedom of speech necessarily, but when people say that about Twitter, it's usually because they can't say like the racist,
And
just
dangerous.
infactual, dangerous bullshit they want to say.
Right.
So, like, the reason that people like to complain about the freedoms that they have on social media is because they belong to a certain subset of people that use it for a lot of dumb shit and a lot of dangerous shit. So that's a little worrisome to me. It's not that I have a problem with free speech, but like the people that want to use it as free speech and wave that flag are using it to be disrespectful and often hurtful and just shitty human beings, and find other shitty human beings. So that when people say more freedom of speech, that usually hits my ears kind of like a ugh.
Right.
Because you want to say shit you're not currently like supposed to say, and like ugh, maybe you shouldn't fucking say the shit like that.
Mhm.
People aren't looking at it like this is 1776 and you've just said that the king is wrong for making us pay taxes. Now you're going to be thrown in jail, right? That's not the free speech they're looking to fight. Is talking ill about the king. They want to say the worst shit they can and incite the worst people to do the worst things they can.
Yeah,
That
you
is
people
what
got your
that
point
means.
across by flying your stupid "Don't tread on me" flags in front of your house. Like nobody's treading on you. It's annoying. Stop.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, as we said before on this show, it's very easy to rile up dumb people. So if you
What do you mean?
if you're mm-hmm.
Because I'm dumb.
So you hope that stuff doesn't
Self-aware but dumb.
you hope that stuff doesn't happen. But I don't know. Personally, I think he's taken on a lot of headaches for a lot of money. He impacted his the Tesla stock, at least temporarily. It went down as a result of this purchase, and now Twitter stock went up. I don't know the numbers offhand, just what I saw at a high level. Obviously, big questions out there. Is he going to allow Trump and others back onto the platform that's been banned for inciting violence, at least in the opinions of the people running Twitter, at the very least?
Not an opinion, fact.
I tend to agree, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But if you were in a position to buy Twitter, would you put yourself in that position to have to redesign this and monitor and create the rules, and then inevitably probably be blamed, because sooner or later, if you relax the rules, somebody's going to do something off of Twitter and something's going to happen, and people's going to come to you and say, it's your fault, not unlike Facebook, that you're not monitoring, it's not regulated enough, and all that stuff. So would you take that on? Go ahead.
If I had enough money to buy something like Twitter, if I had that kind of money, you would never see or hear from me ever again. You'd never know where I was. I wouldn't be fucking with anybody if I had that kind of money.
Yeah.
I would be somewhere.
I wish you were that rich.
Just once a week, I'm convincing idiots. Other than that,
you're obligated to show up here once a week.
You signed a contract.
Lifetime contract. Until we choose to stop.
I don't know why anybody would want that. It's the same thing when I can never wrap my brain, and maybe that's just because I've never been in a position or held this much power or pull or anything, and I just can't get into the headspace. But I can never wrap my head around like why anybody would ever want to be the president or any sort of. I'm like, it's just awful. Like you can't win, and even if you're trying to do good for people, it is a losing battle. Like, and I don't know why you would want all of that smoke, everything that comes with it. Like, it's just, is it worth it? Like, maybe I don't truly understand the amount of power and how that must feel, or I don't have a God complex, or I don't know. But you got to think,
anybody who owns Twitter, there was a CEO of Twitter, right? Because Twitter was public. He's now going to be the owner and take it private, but he's not going to run the day-to-day shit of that.
No. He's the figurehead of it.
Could, right. But he's going to, there's going to be people behind it that run it and do the day-to-day operations and that make those decisions. I mean, sure, they'll run it by him, but he's not going to give that two shits.
But his face one way or the other.
Yeah, but he bought it just because he couldn't. If you're that rich, do you care what people think?
It all just clicked. I know what he's doing.
What?
He wants to get us an edit button. Motherfucker. Brilliant.
He wants to buy Twitter and watch the world implode and watch it from space. He's going to have the best seat in the house and just watch the world come undone from the outside. That's it. That's what he's doing.
Very possible.
I do want that fucking edit button.
I want to know what Brian would do with Twitter, because Brian runs all of our social media for the most part, and all of our, what would you do with Twitter?
I'm a lazy ass.
Stop paying for fucking ads for convincing idiots, that's for sure. It would all the algorithms would lead you here.
Fucking day one, he better give us a goddamn blue check mark.
That's right, yes. Verify convincing idiots account.
Bobblehead Nick verified.
I don't know what I would do. I don't want that responsibility. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like you say. I don't get it. It's I don't know what I would. I don't know what. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how he makes money off it. I mean, I guess there's two ways. It's ads and subscriptions, right? Is that it? I don't know what else.
I think the ads, if I were to guess, the ads are going to be the more than anything, just like Facebook. I mean, you rely on ads, just like if anybody would like for us to advertise on our show, maybe live reads or whatever, give Brian a call, or not a call, but what's the website there?
Convincingidiots.wordpress.com is our website, but you would want to contact our email address, probably convincingidiots@gmail.com.
Right. That's right. Because ads are the best way to get to people, and especially if you're a global podcast like ours, you get to a lot of people.
Just ask our good friends over at RPM Bike Shop, located conveniently in Carrollton, Ohio. They thought, what is the best way to bring our incredible, undeniably incredible and uncomparable electric bikes to the masses? Why not reach out globally through our friends at Convincing Idiots? RPM Bike Shop, located in Carrollton, Ohio. If you're interested in finding your very own electric bike, you can search them on Facebook, RPM Bike Shop, or you can give them a call at 330-808-7792, and they will hook you up with your very own electric bicycle today. Sorry, I just dropped something that was clunky, but something fell, and I was trying to still keep it together while reading
So
it.
if you would like to get a professional read like that, things falling and rolling across the floor.
What are you, a fucking earthquake or some shit? This RPM Bike Shop is located in... Yeah, there you go. Super... Hey, this is professionalism, all right? Even if the world is falling down around me, my last
get that
breath
read in.
will be used on getting your ad to the masses globally.
Come on, get a hold of us.
Yeah.
That's right. So
do it.
One thing I did see on Twitter today. Now, one thing Twitter is good for, if you are looking for, now you mentioned an
electric
bikes.
earlier.
Electric bikes, certainly
electric
one.
Bikes, yes.
But you can find fun, entertaining accounts out there. So, Dean, you were talking about one earlier. There's a lot of fun accounts out there. I follow this guy.
There are. I'm not going to repeat the one I was talking about.
No, it's okay. But that's okay. It's you have an interest there. It's a common interest with other people. They post stuff that you expect. You're not offended by it. It's fun. Nothing wrong with it. If you don't want to look at it, don't go to that account and read the tweets. It's really as simple as that, right? So there are some fun ones out there. Go ahead.
You can go to the fake Dean account on Twitter. That's my personal one.
Again, we said fun accounts, funny accounts.
Yeah, mine's just shitty jokes.
If you're looking for sad, depressing accounts too, they're out there as well, like Fake Dean at Fake Dean or something like that. Yeah,
at Fake Dean account.
That's right.
Can't get that plug out there more. But just go follow it, please.
That's right. Yeah, it can plug in his own goddamn account more than our own.
Anybody like to throw any plugs? Just my Twitter account. Like, just please follow me. Like, that's really
at Convincing Idiot, because there's no S on it because I'm an idiot. And I ran out of letters really, and I just said, well, this should be fine.
Yeah, I spent 3 minutes doing this. That's enough.
What other name would we have used? What's the name of the show?
Yep. That's right. So also you can find it with fun accounts. You can also find some trending hashtags that are fun and have some entertaining content, certainly. So I came across one today just by happenstance on Twitter. It's hashtag explain a film plot badly. All one word, explain a film plot badly. And the example is: a wisecracking boiler technician teaches high school students to believe in their dreams. Any idea what movie that might be?
That's cheating because we know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is, but
very good.
It took a minute,
let
but
the
Carter
audience
got it.
play along. Yeah.
Carter got that.
Okay, so that was Nightmare on Elm Street. Wisecracking boiler technician teaches high school students to believe in their dreams. It's okay.
Like,
well, I know you knew the answer. People listening out there, they wouldn't know what that is necessarily. Right?
We have very smart listeners and viewers.
Yeah,
Brian.
Absolutely. All right, so we thought it'd be a kind of a funny thing to do every so often, and as if one comes to mind similarly. So we're going to do idiots explaining a movie plot badly, and we'll test each other. Now, we've not shared our clues with each other.
We can workshop that title, though.
Yeah, we can workshop the title for sure. Yeah, maybe you can spend another 3 minutes on the show and come up with something. So.
See if I can squeeze it in the week.
Yeah. Okay. So, Dean, you had one here. So
I do.
Why don't you?
So I'm going to read the. I'm going to read the. I'm going to read the description, and you guys try to guess the movie. Correct?
Okay.
Yes. That's right.
Okay. A nature lover is struck by a car and is kidnapped and forced to live with a gun-loving family of wasps until a madman forces them to let him go.
Say again.
That's a long one.
A nature lover is struck by a car and is kidnapped and forced to live with a gun-loving family of wasps until a madman forces them to let him go. Anybody got any guests on that one?
A nature
lover is struck by a car and is kidnapped, forced to live with a family of gun-loving wasps until a madman forces them to let him go.
I have no idea.
All right.
I don't know.
That would be Harry and the Hendersons.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very good.
Pretty proud of that one.
Family of wasps.
Like white Anglo-Saxon people? Is that what you mean?
Oh,
correct.
Jeez.
Correct.
Okay. That was really throwing me. I'm like, what the
Well,
fuck?
you need something like that in there to, so it's not like completely obvious.
Okay. I gotcha. Yep.
All right, Nick, what do you got?
I've got one here. So a foreigner seeks help from a group of scientists to find a place to stay.
A foreigner
seeks help from a group of scientists to find a place to stay.
Well, a foreigner. Could repeat that one more time.
So a foreigner seeks help from a group of scientists to find a place to stay.
Now, would that be E.T.?
It is not.
I was
that's a
thinking
good
E.T.
guess.
also, believe it or not.
Okay.
That's a good guess. Any,
what is it?
Any last swings at it? No?
That's mine.
So a foreigner seeking help from a group of scientists to find a place to stay is none other than the Thing featuring Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's good.
Granted, his place to stay is in one of the scientists, but
That's where I like to stay.
yeah. So Brian, what do you got? This is fun. I like this.
Okay, I've got. Well, I'll give you. I have two. I'll give you the guys when I said earlier.
Okay.
So, widowed. I know you know the answer to this one, but widowed father tries to recruit son into his large corporation to increase its influence.
Any guesses out there, people at home?
They're just beating on their steering wheel going,
That's right.
I know it.
They're driving down the street with their portable Bluetooth speaker hooked up to their electric bike from RPM Bike Shop, and they're like, I know the answer to this. I just wish.
Right.
Yeah, good. Yep.
And they feel comfortable punching their fist in the air saying that because they know they have Blake Insurance.
They have knuckle insurance from Blake Insurance.
So it could be a couple movies. So it could be The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. Actually,
Sure.
So Darth Vader is the widowed father trying to recruit his son. And one more for you: a neglectful and procrastinating father willing to commit several crimes, including breaking and entering and stealing, to get his son a last-minute Christmas gift on Christmas Eve.
That would be none other
the worst movie in the world. Go ahead.
than Jingle All the Way. Yes.
Correct. Very good. Excellent.
Cinematic classic. Yes.
That's right. Do you have any others, guys?
I only wrote down the one, but
Okay.
I like this. This would be fun to play around with in the future and come up with some more stuff, though. That's fun.
All right. Okay. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed that out there. We are going to take a well-deserved break, and we're going to come back and talk about celebrities in public. We got a couple interesting stories out there in the world of pop culture. We have Johnny Depp and Amber Mead trial going on, and Mike Tyson did not particularly care for a fellow airplane passenger recently. So we're going to talk about that stuff and just the celebrities in public in general a little bit. That's what we got for you this week. So we will be right back before you can send your next tweet. That'll be immediately taken down by Elon Musk.
Oh.